Good morning and welcome. I'll fix that. This is already,
Streams had
some problems already. Alright, welcome to your Wednesday morning caffeine. Caleb AM. I'm your co-host, Caleb Griffin.
I'm your other co-host, Caleb Ladd.
And this is the show where we talk about Jesus, we talk about life, drink caffeine,
We ask questions,
and we go to class.
We did it out of order, but that's okay.
It's okay.
That happens.
Yeah. This whole stream's out of order if you think about it.
Yeah, so now I don't remember the order. I don't know what comes first.
Yeah. But I actually do. I think you talk about Jesus first.
Yeah, we talk about Jesus first, because Jesus is first.
Jesus is always first.
Hey. I thought you were trying to peek. That's my bad.
Trying to pack my chair up. A little bit. Okay.
Alright. So, for those who don't know, I was in Guatemala last week on a mission trip.
And we missed
So I got these cool pants. And
I love your pants.
it's why we didn't do Caleb AM last week.
Sorry. We know, the thousands of people who enjoy the show.
The millions upon millions of people.
Yeah.
But every once in a while, we need to take a break.
Yeah.
And if it's only 1 week out of the year for the rest of my life, that's okay. Because Guatemala is the 1 week that I couldn't do Caleb AM.
Yeah.
Maybe Super Summer too. I don't know. We'll see. All right. But so in Guatemala, the adults have devotion times in the morning. I got asked if I wanted to do one, and I was going to, but there was so many adults that also wanted to do it, so I didn't really know what I would say, and that stuff makes me nervous. So I was like, I'll let somebody else do it. But one of the adults, while she was making her plan or whatever, I was downstairs while she was making it and talking it out with her, and she was asking me to help her find verses. And one of the verses that we found was Galatians 1:10, and it says, "For am I now trying to persuade people or God, or am I striving to please people? If I were still trying to please people, I would not be a servant of Christ." And Galatians 1:1 kind of goes along with this. It says, "Paul, an apostle, not from men or by man, but by Jesus Christ and God the Father, who raised him from the dead." I don't know. I was looking for verses that fit that, the theme of what she was trying to go off of, which was striving for God, not for people.
Yeah.
And it was I thought both of those were pretty good, because a lot of times we get into the headspace that it's about us or about pleasing other people, when if we're just going to do anything, whether it's just going to church or being nice to somebody or going on a mission trip, if it's just to make those around you think that you're a good person, or even to say that you did it just to help them, you're not serving Christ, you're serving the world.
Yeah, it's a part a lot of people miss too. I've missed it a lot in my past too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was really good.
Yeah.
And I miss Guatemala.
I know.
So that was the verses of the day. Galatians 1:1 and 1:10. Good verses.
Yeah. So now we get to do our energy drinks. Kayla, would you like to go first?
You can go first.
I'll go first then. I'm trying to be polite, but whatever.
You let me go first all the time.
Yeah, because I'm a nice dude and you're my friend.
Well, I think you deserve a moment to go first.
I appreciate that. Little, newsflash. Rain decided they were going to discontinue 6 of their flavors that I never got to try. So that kind of upset me. And they came out with a new Celsius-styled drink, which sucks. But this is
We're about to make a rain change.
Yeah, maybe.
Caleb's going bang.
I'm not going bang, but we'll see what happens.
Caleb's going ghost.
Potentially. If I can find a lychee rain, we'll decide from there. But this is a raspberry rain. I've had it once on the show before a long time ago, and it's alright.
I don't remember what this one tastes like.
Tastes like raspberry. What about you, Caleb? What do you have?
I have I have a nectarine blueberry.
Oh, I like that one.
This we both got like the blue flavors.
It smells really sour, but I don't think it is sour.
So it smells a little bit like the blue raspberry, which is one of the worst flavors. But from what I remember, that one's better.
I like it. It's better than I remember it being.
Alright, I'm gonna just.
Yeah, I like this one. That's the one that has like a horrible smell, and then you taste it, and it's like, how does something that smells like that taste so good?
I don't care for that. It's like a 38.
It's not for everybody. I'd give it like a 56, maybe?
Well,
maybe. Well, it's time to get... Oh, what did I do? Okay. It is time to get into the question of the week. And while we're talking about this, the question of the week, if you couldn't tell from the title, was brownies versus cookies. Or, you know, which is better, brownies versus cookies.
Mm-hmm.
I want to hear from the comment section. So if you guys are listening, let me know what you guys said, because I'm very curious about this one.
I wonder if Colton's listening. Colton's sick, so
Yeah.
there's a chance he did not get up.
It's possible. But anyways, I'd like to know what you prefer. Or do
Hold
you,
up, that's my alarm.
or instead of what you prefer, would you rather do what you like or what you think what do you think happened in the polls? Because we asked people on our Instagram.
Well, I accidentally snoozed my alarm. Let me just turn it off.
Because we ask people on our Instagram every week, Caleb_Griffin11, Caleb_Lad03, and next week it'll be
There
on
is an
his
underscore.
Instagram, Caleb_Lad03 if you want to take part in that. But
Technically, this would have been my week, but we didn't do last week.
But we didn't do last week, so
Somebody says cookies.
yeah, someone did say cookies.
All right.
All right, what do you think the people did?
So, personally, I would also choose cookies.
Right.
And I feel like that's pretty obvious. Like, cookies is cookies.
Cookies is cookies.
It's like the most common dessert for a reason. It's really good. It's
cookies.
the best. And I think that the average brownie, like, if it's not a middle piece, piping hot and gooey, is just mid to bad. Like, I don't know. Brownies, like, when they're cold and rock hard or just like whatever, and I don't want to eat them. They're not that good.
That's valid.
But when it is smoking hot and then you pour some ice cream on it, that's good.
It's good.
Which we had in Guatemala, and that was a good brownie.
I enjoy a good brownie.
But I've never had like a brownie that I would say is a perfect dessert.
Sure.
I've had a lot of perfect cookies.
Cookies are magnificent.
So cookies all the way for me.
Right.
There's literally no contest.
Sure.
Makes me want some cookies. Some of my mom's homemade cookies.
I love cookies.
Some store-bought cookies.
Some Oreos.
Some of those crappy sugar cookies that I love so much. Some Oreos.
Insomnia's open, aren't they? Don't they open at like 6 a.m.?
I don't know. I'll have to go to Insomnia.
'Cause I love cookies.
We'll go to Insomnia next week. I'll wake up at 5:45 and go get Insomnia, and I'll be back before 6:30. But if they open at 6,
Yeah.
I would check before
They
but
deliver until 3 a.m. I know that. But go ahead.
I guess we could just get Insomnia delivered, or just go get
Have
it
the
the
guy,
day. Just
have
go
the
get
guy
it the
walk
day
in
before.
and Caleb a cookie delivery.
Do you want cookies? But so yeah, no, cookies all the way for me, and I think it wasn't very close either, but I'm usually off when I think that, because I'll go like way higher, so I'm going to go down a little bit. I'm going to say 77-23
For
cookies.
cookies. Well, Caleb,
Don't tell me brownies won.
I thought the same
Don't
as
tell me
you.
brownies won.
You know, this
Better be
was
messing with me.
the
Brownies did not
craziest
win.
poll ever. Because for the first time in Caleb AM history, we had a 50-50 split.
Really?
50-50 split. And it came down to the wire.
There was no way I got this right. This is unfair. This doesn't count. This is unfair.
I went to bed last night and it was 52-48, and I wake up and I check and it's 50-50, and I'm like, are you kidding me? Because I was under the impression that cookies being better than brownies was a universal truth. Like, I didn't know people thought brownies were better than cookies. Like, I want to know how many of those people who said brownies were just thinking, like, you know, maybe chocolate chip versus brownie, didn't think about the variety that cookies have.
Yeah, brownies are literally, they're
Oreos
just...
exist, people.
Brownies
like,
are literally just chocolate with chocolate chips, or chocolate with nuts. And that's all you get.
And I love a good brownie. Like, a good brownie's great. But is it better than a warm chocolate chip cookie?
No.
Absolutely not.
No.
Is it better than an Oreo?
No.
Absolutely not. Is it better than a Chips Ahoy?
No.
No. Is it better than...
I don't know.
Chips Ahoys. I love Chips Ahoys. I could eat like 30 of those.
I mean, I could, but...
Is it better than, you know, if
you... What to do Oreos versus Chips Ahoy?
Putting ice cream... Well, that's a no contest.
I thought this was no contest.
Okay, I guess you're right, because this is...
We've done a lot of stuff that should have been no contest. And we've done a lot of stuff that was no contest.
This isn't as embarrassing as Chick-fil-A demolishing Popeyes that one time.
Yeah, but that was expected.
Yeah, that's true. I guess.
Because most people don't want to admit that Popeyes is better.
That's besides the point. I'm just shocked that half of the voters went with brownies over cookies.
There was one time that one of my votes was 50-50 before I woke up, and when I woke up it was like not 50-50 anymore. So, but
yeah, it was.
I had that 51-49 that one time. 50-50 is...
Cookies had a large lead for majority of the morning yesterday.
Did brownies ever have the lead?
Yeah, brownies had the lead. Brownies got the lead once. Cookies took the lead back, and then...
So cookies had the lead the majority of the time.
Yeah.
So
there was...
If we're going off that, I was correct.
Cookies were winning, then there were literally like, I think 6 votes in a row for brownies. I was like, what are you people talking about? Like,
I want to eat these brownies that y'all...
Yeah, like...
I need these
y'all's
brownies.
Parents had just have like the best homemade brownies ever, because I'd love to taste a brownie that's better than a good cookie. Because I don't believe
in that.
Even if you're talking a la mode, I'd rather have a cookie with ice cream than I would a brownie with ice cream. Because you know what I can do with 2 cookies and ice cream? I can make a sandwich.
The only thing that I can give like brownies with ice cream is when like it's a really hot and mushy brownie. It's like easier to eat than a cookie is.
Sure.
And like I don't know, when the brownie is mushy, it kind of like almost melts with the ice cream. There's a mise en scène in it. Sorry. I'm in a film class.
Film class.
I mean, I got a funny story about that to tell later. But yeah, no. That's outrageous. That's outrageous.
50-50, like that's.
I wish one of them would have at least won. Yeah. It's unsatisfying.
Because now we don't know.
Cookies had the lead more of the time, but the fact that there's... Oh my god. It should have been 85-15.
Perhaps it can change while we're, filming the show.
If it changes, we'll make a community post.
Yeah, we'll make the community post, but...
Because we do post the polls at like 7:40... No, we post the polls at like 8:30.
Yeah.
So there's technically 2 more hours of polling to do.
Well, we post the poll at like before 8 because you have an 8 a.m. and we're walking to class.
Oh yeah, no, it's 7:30.
7:45ish probably was this last one because we waited till we got to campus.
So there's 1 more hour of polling to do.
Hopefully somebody wins because we can't really. We've obviously disagreed, but there's no decision for us to disagree with, unless being a psychology major, looking at our sample size of voters, I'd have to look at the diversity, the age range, all of that stuff to see if we could take this sample and we can generalize it to the population.
Yeah.
But
hold up, I'm in a psych stats class. Hold up. No.
Carry the 7.
No. According to my calculations, brownies won.
No.
All right. Well.
Yeah. Well,
speaking of desserts, I've got something sweet. I have some Guatemalan chocolate.
Is that for me?
No,
Oh.
I have a gift for you. It's behind this chair. This was just for us to try. I have had some, but
Is it good chocolate?
it is.
I
They're
enjoy
like
good
the leading chocolate producer in the world for a reason.
Yeah.
Your squares.
It looks great.
I do have another bar.
Smells
If
great.
you really like it, I'll give you a couple more pieces.
Patient.
I don't know what that means. The energy drink residue in my mouth
This isn't working with the chocolate.
is not ideal.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
So this was a mistake. I'll give you another piece off camera.
Like it's good. It's just not with an energy drink.
Nope. I'm gonna finish it though because I'm a pig. Let me finish my chocolate. You say something.
All right. Well, I don't understand the brownie cookie being a 50-50 split, but it is what it is. Outside of that, while he's talking about doing his chocolate, I'm going to talk about baseball for a second.
Let's go Japan.
Yeah, last night the USA and Japan played in the Baseball Classic, and it was probably the sickest at bat I've ever watched in my life. It was Shohei Ohtani, who is a pitcher slash batter, arguably the greatest baseball player to ever live because he can throw 100 miles an hour and can.
We
I
are.
meant to say passionate. Yeah, well, wouldn't you be? Did you not expect cookies to blow Brownies out the water, Colton? But anyways, and he was pitching against Mike Trout, who is his teammate on the Los Angeles Angels, who is arguably one of the best players in the world, probably the best hitter in the world, honestly. And
I thought that one guy got like
you know,
50 goals.
Aaron Judge, he hit 62 home runs, but like, that's why I said arguably. Mike Trout is one of those guys, though. He's talked about in terms of best players in the MLB, and they're on the Los Angeles Angels together. So the drama's already high, considering that they're teammates going against each other. And then
I feel like I'd have fun.
it was the last out.
Which one was on? I'm assuming the pitcher was on the Japanese team.
Yeah, Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah, I didn't remember his name.
He pitched against Mike Trout. Japan's leading 3-2, 1 out. He works a full count, which 3-2 count.
3-2.
Throws the nastiest slider I've ever seen and struck out Mike Trout, and Japan won. It was I was obviously rooting for America, but I can appreciate solid baseball, and that's what that was. That was a great game. So I wanted to mention that.
As a fan of America and a fan of Japan, I'm just happy the teams had fun.
Yeah.
And one of them won.
No, even Mike Trout said in his interview, like, disappointed we didn't win, but this was the funnest 10 days I've ever had in my life in terms of the whole tournament that they played in. He said it was a lot more fun than spring training, which makes sense, but
I'm glad.
Yeah, so he definitely had fun.
Congrats to Japan. I hope they use this money to make a new anime.
I don't think they get money.
Make it about baseball.
I don't think they get money. They get a trophy and medals. But anyways, yeah.
Use this as an opportunity to make a new anime about baseball.
But Shohei Ohtani, he opened the count with the pitch with the slider, and then he went 100-mile-per-hour fastball, 99-mile-per-hour something else. It wasn't a fastball. Then another 100-mile-per-hour fastball. Then a 102-mile-per-hour fastball, and then an 87-mile-per-hour slider that just got Trout. It was insane. But he's a beautiful pitcher. That's all I'll talk about for baseball for now, just because I thought that was so cool last night.
I'm glad you got to experience that.
Yeah, I had to wait for you to finish your chocolate.
I walked in on you watching that from work.
Yeah.
Got a new job yesterday, but so I was in Guatemala.
Mm-hmm.
I got you something, and then I found out that somebody else had already got you that in the past, and I was a little sad. But
happened.
Thankfully, you being my best friend ever, I found multiple things for you. So This one is perishable, but it is with me. I've hidden it behind his chair. So, I hope you like it.
I'm sure I will.
I'm nervous you won't.
It came from you, so unless it's like a living snake.
Here's your living snake. Alright. You might have been able to smell it this whole time, and I think it smells immaculate.
I haven't.
Let me see if you can guess what it is through the smell.
Is it up my nose?
Okay. It's not smelling right now.
Okay.
I'm gonna just drop it in your hand.
It seems like it might be coffee, based on...
But why don't you open your eyes?
It is coffee!
It's Guatemalan coffee.
I've heard Guatemalan coffee is very good.
They are the leading, like, producers
it does smell really good.
of like coffee and chocolate. And the coffee, that coffee is made like right next to where we stay in Guatemala. So it's really good. From what I've heard. I don't like coffee, so I might have to try that coffee though.
Thank you, Caleb Ladd.
You're so welcome. I hope you enjoy it.
I will definitely enjoy it.
You'll have to make it one day. And not just leave it there. That would hurt my feelings.
Well, since we've talked about Jesus and we drank our caffeine and we answered questions, it's now time to talk about life.
It's been 2 weeks. It's been a while since this has happened. It's been since Christmas break. It's been 3 months. It's 3 months. Okay? Christmas break was hard for tailgating. We couldn't get around. We had stuff to attend to.
Right.
So, including your spring break and the end of the other week, how's your week been on a scale of 1 to 100?
I would go like I'm gonna go 88.7.
I see that you use the fact that we do a 100-point scale and then just you kept it going. Do you need a 1,000-point scale?
No. I'm at 88.7. I stand firm by that.
I mean, okay.
If it would have been 1 to 10, I would have said 8.87. So,
well, can't wait for pi to come up in mine. It was about a 3.14.
No, spring break.
The first 2 digits.
I really don't remember what happened after the last Caleb AM. I remember having class Thursday and going home after that. That's probably where spring break started for me. Probably is where spring break started for me. And I had a really great spring break. Really chill, really relaxed. Got to, spend time with my family and loved ones that I haven't seen a lot in a while. Went to Winter Jam. It was fabulous.
Yeah, I saw videos from that. Not many, but I did see one story.
Ann Wilson was a lot better than I expected her to be. She has this new song called Living Water, which was in the Jesus Revolution movie. And it's a very, very good song.
I need to look that up.
And then I went and saw Jesus Revolution, and it was a very good movie.
Oh yeah, no, she did My Jesus.
Yeah, that's the song she's famous for. It's a great song.
They played that at a funeral I went to, and ooh,
she turns out we found out she just turned 21. JJ was very excited about that.
Ann Wilson, I know you're watching. JJB MSU. I don't know his Instagram. I don't know his Instagram. Quick, what's his state email?
He was very excited about that, but she did very, very good. Jeremy Camp did very, very good. There was some, toughness to it. Outside, just the great night of worship it was. We missed Austin French singing Born Again. They, for whatever reason, decided to start 9 minutes early. We were in line getting food.
How do you do that at a concert? I've never been to a concert that doesn't start late.
I know, same. But they started 9 minutes early, so I was like, well, okay. He didn't do Why God either.
Dang. How could he? Why?
Yeah, I don't know. New song didn't do I Am a Christian.
What?
They did do Arise My Love with Austin French, so that was really cool. But yeah, no I Am a Christian. Jeremy Camp didn't do I Still Believe, or
Did he do Walk by Faith?
yeah, he did.
Okay. Good.
He didn't do Here I Am to Worship either.
That kind of makes sense. That's a older song.
Yeah,
It's not as popular anymore. I listened to that song this week though,
I like it.
because in the Guatemalan market they were playing it.
Nice.
Some of the people play music over their radios, and to attract the Christians, they'll play worship music.
Yeah.
Those cheeky buggers.
Andy Mineo didn't do
Shame.
Nobody's Coming. I didn't expect him to do Nobody's Coming though. That's just right now it's my favorite Andy Mineo song, but I didn't expect him to do it.
He didn't do Shame.
He did
It is
do.
my favorite Andy Mineo song.
He did do Falling, which I didn't realize how much of a bop that song was.
Falling's awesome.
Yeah. I've forgotten how much of a bop that was until.
That
He
album's
did
really
that.
good.
And then of course
It's in my
Andy
top
Wilson
10.
was great.
I'm not gonna say anything actually.
And then We the Kingdom, we left in the middle of We the Kingdom to beat the traffic, but We the Kingdom they opened with Rolling on the River and Johnny Be Good. I was very confused, but you know they were very talented. And then yeah, outside of that, spring break was really chill. Just watched March Madness, which has been really fun. I love March Madness. It's my favorite time of the sports year. Mississippi State missed a wide open buzzer beater 3-pointer that would have put them to the next round, but it's okay. It's still it's more fun to watch now that they're out of it because I don't have the stress of, oh gosh, they got to win.
No, that's fair.
And I rewatched Spectacular Spider-Man.
What are we at? Like, team-wise, is it top 4, Final 4?
Mississippi State,
No,
or just in the tournament.
the tournament.
Sweet 16. It starts tomorrow. And
Oh, my perfect bracket's still there. I didn't make a bracket.
yeah, and Colton and Evan came and hang out. Colton, Evan, and JJ came and hang out when we watched the Mississippi State.
Colton
game.
said more like March Madness.
I love March Madness.
I like March Madness. It's
insanely
it's one of the
fun.
few months of sports.
It's-
I don't like how much like publicity goes to March Madness because I don't know.
It's just so exciting to watch because, like, you know, teams like Princeton beat, you know, teams like Arizona, and it's like, holy cow, how that happened. I was watching the Furman Texas game. Furman was losing by 2. Texas had the ball. They trapped a Texas guy in the corner, and instead of calling a timeout or trying to throw it off the leg of one of the defenders, he chunked it over his head. Like, straight to a Furman player, and then they hit a 3 with 2 seconds left and won. I was like, wow, why did you do that? You're going to get kicked out of school. But, yeah, no. Other than that, I rewatched Spectacular Spider-Man, which I'm very glad I did, because it was great.
Yeah, and then you made a video about it.
I did.
And it got like 60-something views.
Woohoo! Yeah, that was pretty much my spring break. I'm sure you got a lot to say about yours.
I'll keep it brief. We can talk about other stuff.
You don't have to keep it brief.
Well, there's so many stories I could tell.
Yeah.
My week. If I were to just include Guatemala, I would be in the 98 to 100 range. So, it was a great week. If I were to add school stuff and everything else, I would say I would still be like a 94, 95. It was, some of it was kind of trash, some of the school stuff, but Guatemala was so good, I don't know.
He's happy.
I'm happy.
Yeah.
And like the day after, technically, I mean, I got back at 2 in the morning on Saturday, but the day after I got back, Sunday, I guess I got back on Sunday. The day I got back, we filmed a video, which is about the only thing I missed, besides my mom, but most of my family was on the trip, so.
I didn't know your mom didn't go.
She almost got to, but like a couple people backed out a couple days before the trip, and she could have gone, like, got the tickets or whatever. She could have, but we couldn't find people to watch our animals that short notice. So
you could have asked me. I'd have done it.
thanks, man.
Was
No.
Loki, not Loki?
Icarus.
Icarus,
No.
yeah. Okay, then I could have done it.
He was not a part of.
Then I would have been there for you.
It's my mom. Yeah, she said she had to keep the animals.
Yeah.
Yeah. She really wanted to go though. It would have been awesome if she did get to go.
Yeah.
But
hey, just for future reference, if you ever need anybody to watch your animals, as long as Icarus is not there, I will gladly do that for you guys.
I get that. That's understandable. You're gonna have to watch our animals one day.
I will do.
I do have some
you
pretty
guys.
cool animals.
You do.
But
I like all
you
your
know,
animals except for Icarus, but that's Andy's dog.
Yeah. But God's plan is perfect. So
Yeah.
my mom wasn't meant to be there. She wasn't meant to be there for a reason. So she wasn't there. But I don't know. Overall, Guatemala, it gets better every time I go. I was really nervous about this trip because unlike every other Guatemala trip I've been on, I wasn't like good friends with like 80% of the people going. Or I knew everybody on the trip. There was like 2 people that I'd never really met before, but there were some of like the adults that I knew because they were like parents of the youth, but I'd like never talked to them, and
Right.
so I got to meet all them, which is always awesome. Like get to know them. And there's plenty of people like in the youth group now that are younger students that were like coming up when I was graduating, so I never got close with them. Close with them now, which is like one of my favorite parts of Guatemala. But there was so much in Guatemala that was just awesome. Got to see God move in some miraculous ways. A lot of the people we built houses for came to know Christ. So
It's awesome.
incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible. Just awesome week. I don't know. It was just the best week ever. I cried a lot. There was a lot of crying. And it was all good crying.
Good crying.
It was a lot of good crying. So I wish I was still in Guatemala. But I wish that we came back on Tuesday and then we got back at 6:15 in the morning on Wednesday. I got back to the apartment at 6:15. So that way I could just walk in the door and say, I'm back, as the Caleb AM stream started. But yeah, no, it'd be hard to like just, pick certain stories that I want to tell, but one story I mentioned earlier, this has nothing to do with Guatemala, but it happened while I was in Guatemala. We have a friend in our film class. It's one of my brother's roommates. He posted a video on his Instagram story that it was like a time lapse of him, my brother, and one of their other roommates hiking through the woods. And I literally typed out a paragraph to him about the mise-en-scène of his video, and then he left me unopened.
I'm sure he saw the paragraph and just did not read it.
No, he said he'd read it. I asked him about it. He was like, I'm really bad about responding to people. I read that and laughed out loud. Like, I thought it was hilarious. I just forgot to respond. I was like, okay. How do you forget to respond? But I forgive you, Connor. But yeah, nothing to do with
I
Guatemala.
don't. Joking.
For the first time like ever in Guatemala, I got to build a duplex, which is the first time that we've ever done it.
Mm-hmm.
Not in general, but while I've been there. So
Yeah.
that was cool, so we were building 6 houses, but one of them was 2 houses mushed together, which was really fun. The guy we were building the house for, like, his land was not ideal, which is pretty common. They don't really have, like, prime real estate in Guatemala. But, so we had to do a lot more work for it than normal, and then he also had, like, a water pipe that he rerouted when we got there, and so it was, like, pushing water all over the build site. So, what you would think, like, it makes the dirt easier to grab when you're post hole digging, because when it's dry, it's just, like, falling out. but it just made it harder because it was just sticking to the post hole digger, and it also was heavier. But I love post hole digging, so that was no problem for me. I got the post hole dig longer, and I also got the post hole dig more holes because the house was bigger, and it was a lot of fun. And I love building the houses. Typically, at the end of the week, my dad asked some of the older, he asked the seniors, and then the college students went with the seniors to get like some food with him, so he could ask like, what's the best part of the week? What is something that we could do better? What's blah 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 blah. And I was like, if you had asked me 5 years ago, I would have said building was my least favorite part because it was manual labor.
Sure.
And I didn't like manual labor.
Right.
But I've come around to it. It helps that this year I got to build relationships with the homeowners and like the family we were building it for, while also doing a lot of work on the house. So, I don't know. I felt motivated to do it. And at the end of the week, watching them come to know Christ made it all worth it. So everybody on the build team was crying. Their whole family was crying. It was awesome. It was a great day. And I have a lot of like cute pictures of their family, but I can't really show them on Kobam. So if you want to see them after, I'll show them to you.
I heard y'all got in a mudslide.
We did. It's not really a crazy story, but I'll tell it. After, I'll just tell all of Wednesday.
Okay.
Wednesday was house dedication day. When I woke up on Wednesday, this was my favorite part of the week for me. When I woke up on Wednesday, I found out that manual labor on others' behalf is fun. It also helps when it's with people you like. Dude, I'm much more likely to like do work if it's just helping somebody else.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. When I'm like trying to clean my room, I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't want to clean my room. It's my room. But I will go help somebody else clean for hours on end. I don't know. I think it mainly depends on if other people are there. I don't want to be your maid. Don't hire me to come into your house and clean your room if you're not there.
Let me do it for free.
I don't know. I guess I like that relationship building time.
Yeah.
Because you're in a foreign country building houses for people, and I wasn't close with everybody on my build team, but now I'm good friends with all of them. So, also my socks. These are from Guatemala too. It's on this side. This is a restaurant in Guatemala, Pollo Campero. These were given to me last year, but still. Hold on, I gotta fix my pants. What was I saying? Oh, Wednesday. Yeah. So, one of the translators that we've used since my dad started coming to Guatemala like 19 years ago, his name is Cesar. He is an incredible, incredible, godly human being. I love Cesar. He is such a good guy. He's very relational. Like, the first time I went to Guatemala, I was obviously nervous. But because I hadn't really met anyone. Colton said, you can come clean my room. What? Let's say Romanian style, if you like.
It's Romanian style cleaning.
I don't know. It's probably something inappropriate. But
Colton, we don't condone that.
Yeah, we don't condone that here. So the first time I went to Guatemala, I was scared because I didn't know anybody, and then I got to the mission house, and there was a few people that like were always in Guatemala, like the translators and the people that own the mission house that like I'd like FaceTime because my dad talks to him a lot, and when I met like the people that own the mission house, they were like hugging up on me and all that, doing Guatemalan welcome. So the lady like kissed me on the cheek, and it scared me. But they actually are retiring this year in 3 weeks, and boy howdy, like my dad gave like a thank you speech to them, and everybody was losing their minds because they're awesome people too. But so that was cool. No, I will not do it, Colton. But the first time I met Cesar, like he like. I had never talked to him besides like I said like, hey Cesar, my name's Caleb on the phone, and like he ran up and hugged me and started crying because he was so happy that he was like, I'm so glad that you're here with me now. Like, and I was like, oh my goodness, he's such a good guy. He's such a good guy. That was 9 years ago. But so, anyways, all that to say, I love Cesar. He's one of the godliest men on this planet, and he serves the Lord every day, and I look up to him. So, Wednesday morning, I really wanted to pray for Cesar because he like kind of leads the house dedication. So I was like, I want to pray for him. You know, let him know that people are praying for him and that he should be at peace because God's moving in him, obviously. And so I was pretty nervous about doing that because I'm bad about praying like out loud for people.
Yeah,
it just makes me nervous. So I was trying to find an opportunity to do it, but at the same time, I was like, maybe I just won't do it. It's too scary for me. I don't think I'll be able to do it. But Cesar was riding on our bus on the way to the house dedications because our house dedication was first, and so our bus was pretty tight. There was one open seat because two people in the back were sharing a seat. And I was like, here, I'll just go get on this other bus with one of the other people on our crew. And then I went over, and then I turned around, I looked back, and like I looked at that one open seat, and I was like, you know what? Y'all mind if I sit there? It's open. So I run over, hop in the bus, close the door, and then we start moving. And then I was like, I don't know, I just started getting really emotional for some reason. I don't know why. And then I was like thinking about like, okay, if I do pray for Cesar, what am I going to say? And then I started like trying not to cry. I genuinely don't know why, but I was trying not to cry because I can't talk when I cry.
Yeah.
But then the people in my bus on my build team, like some of them started like sharing like their testimonies and like stuff that was like going on actively in their lives. And like, dude, it's just, that made me more emotional. So I'm in the front seat. I was in the front seat. And I'm normally very talkative in the bus. But I was just sitting there like bawling my eyes out. And just like, I hope nobody sees. I just don't want, I don't want people to like ask me if I'm okay because like they were like telling their testimonies and it was awesome. So I felt closer to them even though I wasn't actively partaking in the conversation. I was listening. But then after one of them finished talking, Aunt Heather, who I don't know if you've ever met Aunt Heather, but she's not actually my aunt.
Yeah, no. What's her last name?
You might recognize her, but
I've met her.
She's also awesome. I'm glad that she and her daughter were on our build team because they're really cool people. But she said something along the lines of like, it had to do with somebody else's testimony. But she was like, "That's how you know if you're really scared to do something. That's when you know that you should do it. Like if it's for the Lord, obviously. If it's like skydiving, I don't know. It's just because you're scared. But I guess that can still apply though. Go skydiving. Maybe it's fun.
Maybe you won't die.
They call it skydiving, not dying for a reason. Skydiving. But so then right after she said that, the guy driving the bus, which this was my dad's build site, so it had been my dad all week, but this was one of the other youth on our trip, on our build team's dad. We call him Sugar Ray.
Of course.
So I call him Shugs. Shugs turns around, and he had been talking to Cesar the whole time, and he was like, "Hey, I think we should pray before for Cesar before we get to the build sites." And I was like, "All right, maybe. Nope, I'm not gonna be able to. I'm crying right now. I'm not gonna be able to talk." And then he goes, "Caleb, will you do it?" And I was like, I sat there. I asked him afterwards. I was like, "Did I look afraid?" Because I felt afraid, and I was like, I felt my eyes get wide and all that. I was like, "Yeah, sure." But so then I prayed for Cesar. It was really hard because like the second I started like bad crying again, and everybody was like really confused as to why I was crying. Because I didn't make it known that I was crying, but then I was crying, but I got the prayer out. I was like so happy I got to do it because like I was like, that's what I wanted to do today, and I got the push I needed to do it. And I talked to Shugs that night about it, and he was like, "Thank you for sharing that because that is incredible." And he told me that when he asked if people, like, when he said that he thought we should pray for Cesar, he told me that he really wanted to be the one that got to pray for him, because him and Cesar are really close. And then he was like, I don't know, when I said that, I just turned around and saw you and felt like you should do it. I was like, wow, that's pretty awesome, because it's literally all I wanted to do that day. I was like, that's my goal today, and I did it. But so after I did that, we were almost to the build site, so I was just trying not to stop crying. Then we got to the build site. We were getting ready for the house dedication, and then we did the house dedication. It was awesome. All of the family that was like old enough to understand stuff, like they're like little babies, like accepted Christ, so that was awesome. And then we had a little team meeting afterwards where we were all sobbing, and it was awesome. And then we left the house site, the house dedication, to go back to the mission house. And a couple people from our job site hopped in this 4-wheel drive truck. And they were going behind us. We got to this road, and it had been raining, which it never does in Guatemala. Mm-hmm. It rained every day, which was just crazy. But so we're going up this road, and it's getting a little muddy. And the van in front of us stops in the middle of the mud, and then we try it, and that's a bad idea. These vans are not 4-wheel drive. So if you're going up mud, stopping is the worst thing you can do, because you're not going to start again.
Yeah. And
so my dad sees them stop, and so there's nobody coming. He tries to get around them, which is pretty common for Guatemala. There's like not that many wrecks, but they're so crazy driving. But we slowed down too much, and we started sliding back. So there was like this massive like block in the road, and then the truck managed to get up, and so we were like, we can't get up now. So we turned around and we went back and waited, and so we were stuck on this side of the mountain. We didn't know what we were gonna do, and it was I was like trying not to think about it too much, because it was kind of stressful. Like, you know, we're not in America, we're in Guatemala. Like this, even if we get stuck, some of the stuff here isn't really safe to eat or drink for us. But so we wait for the other build teams to get finished with their house dedications, and then we found out Cesar was like asking people, and one of the guys we built a house for said that he knew a way to get back to Chimaltenango, where we were staying. And so, you know, that was pretty awesome, because like we wouldn't have met this guy if we weren't building a house for him. And so he comes over on a little bike, and we follow him. Not on a bike, it was a motorcycle. He was not pedaling. Was
it a moped, or was it a?
It was a motorcycle.
It was a motorcycle.
But
it's just kind of funny to imagine you guys following a guy on a little moped. Like, follow me, guys. Let's go.
Aki. So we're following him, and then all is well. And then we're on this like straight paved path. We're all feeling good, and then he takes this right, like that looks like it goes straight into the woods. And we're like, oh no. And we start going downhill, and it's muddy, and I was like, ugh. We're going to turn a corner, and it's going to be straight uphill. And then we got down to the bottom of the hill, and we turned a corner, and it was like straight uphill. It wasn't like straight uphill, but it was pretty steep. And in that moment, like, that's when like it would start going down the bus. We were all like a little nervous, trying not to think about it. I kind of am calm in stressful situations if other people are around, because I don't want to make other people stressed out.
Yeah.
But then like half the people in the bus were like, and I was like, uh-oh. So then Aunt Heather was like, all right guys, let's pray. And so we all started we were praying, like, please just help us get up this hill. My dad's so good at driving, he got up the hill, no problem. But the hardest part was there was literally a 180 degree turn almost. Like, it was like 160 degrees. And he was like, you can't stop while you're going over that, or else you'll start sliding, because it was still going uphill. We made it up. But then one of the other buses couldn't make it up, and they had to try again. But we all got up just fine. Everybody nobody was ever really in any real danger or anything. But that's just one of those things. It was kind of scary.
Yeah.
But we made it through, and then after that there was one other small hill we had to get up. There was not many issues getting up that one. And then we were back on the highway, going back. Whew! That was like eventful. That was a scary night. But, you know, God's in control. Shout out to God. I love God.
Shout out to God. We love that, man.
Then we finally got back on the road, and we stopped at a gas station to fill up the vans and the truck that was still with us. And then my dad gathered everybody around and told them that the power was out in the mission house. So our long day of being stuck on the mountain was just to get back to the mission house and not have water to take a shower in. But that was okay. We went and ate dinner. Thankfully, they had already cooked dinner because they were expecting us to get back at 6:30, and we just didn't get back until like 8:30 or 9. I don't remember.
Yeah.
But it was still warm because they had a gas stove keeping everything hot. And boy, that was like the best roast beef I've ever had. That was good. But yeah, no, that was such a good dinner.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, we ate the dinner, and then we had like a little share time up in the dark mission house room, where everybody got to talk about how awesome the day was and stuff like that. And then the power came back on. Wednesday was, I mean, looking back in the moment, it was horrifying. But looking back, it was one of the best days of my life. So, like, somebody asked the question, like, if you knew what you knew now, would you do that again? And I was like, heck yeah. If I knew I would get out of it just fine, heck yeah, I'd do it again. Would I want to go in blind like that again? I don't know. It was pretty scary. It's not every day you find yourself stuck on one side of a mountain in a foreign country on a mission trip with 30 other people. But I wouldn't trade that experience for the world.
Yeah.
So.
Awesome. I'm glad you're safe.
I am too.
If I would have lost you, I don't know what I would have done.
We wouldn't have had Caleb AM today.
That's true. I'll probably still be weeping.
I would hope that you wouldn't be going to class.
Probably
Sorry,
not.
guys. I need a few days off.
Yeah.
Glad it was so much fun considering wanting to go next year. I love Guatemala.
I've only heard good things about Guatemala from, I've had 2 stepbrothers and a sister that have gone and some best friends who have gone. I've only heard good things, so
It's really incredible.
Yeah.
And you get to bond with so many people.
Yeah.
Most of my best friends are because of Guatemala. Like, I wouldn't know Ella or Hunter if it wasn't for Guatemala, and then in turn, I wouldn't have been close with like Connor or Charlie or any of them.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. But this week was the week that like I saw the most. What did he say?
He said, I've missed out on a lot of opportunities like this, but now I've got the freedom to go.
Yeah.
Lauren is going on a mission trip to Belize this summer.
Ooh.
So, yeah. She's
I've
never
been on one
been
other
on a mission trip.
place.
She's nervous.
I've been to Jamaica before, like out of the country. I've been on a
Yeah.
lot of like in-country mission trips, but out of the country, I've been to Jamaica and Guatemala just has my heart.
Yeah. All of his clothes, if they're not game theory related, are probably, or Overwatch related.
Or The Office related. Or disc golf related. All my stuff is
related to something.
related to something.
But
I don't really
he has
have
a lot of
many.
Guatemala.
Yeah, all my shirts are Guatemala, Overwatch, The Office, disc golf, or Jesus related.
Yeah.
I think that's a pretty good group.
It's a good group.
So there are so many other stories I could tell,
Yeah.
but I don't know.
I mean, you could do your own video on Guatemala. If
I
you
probably
wanted to.
could. I thought about while I was there, when I like first got there, I thought about like taking some short videos every once in a while and like sending them to you,
vlogging it,
and like you can make a short out of it or something.
Yeah.
Like Caleb goes to Guatemala, but then I was like, after like the first day, I was like, screw that, I ain't doing that.
Yeah, no, I understand.
My screen time average was like an hour 30 minutes every day, and that literally like most of that came from I would watch a YouTube video before I went to sleep.
Yeah.
So I loved it. My screen time now is already back up to like average of 5 hours, which is still lower than it used to be, but the beard is looking strong today. You've been training it well.
Don't give him false hope.
Stop, Caleb. You're hurting my
I'm just
feelings.
joking.
I really don't like my beard. I don't know, I keep forgetting it's there, and then I'll send a picture to somebody, and I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh my gosh. But I do get to play with my mustache.
Yeah, I think you should keep the mustache. That's just me, though.
After living pictures, when I shave, I'll wake up extra early on Wednesday and shave down to the mustache, and then I'll shave the mustache right after Caleb AM. But, I don't know.
Yeah.
I've had some people, like, I don't know, it feels unnecessary, but they've, like, actively made fun of it, and how, like, I can't grow a beard or something. Like, who are you trying to please? Like, what's the point of saying
See,
that?
there's a difference between you and someone who can't grow a beard.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, it's there. It is visible.
He's got a beard.
It doesn't really look good, but I'm not... If I was trying to grow a beard for it to look good, I would have shaved this a month and a half ago.
Yeah, I know.
I'm doing this for living pictures, because they've said either grow a beard or you get a fake beard, and I would rather just have this mappy looking one.
Looks more realistic.
It looks more realistic, yeah. And then I don't have to risk, like, sweating my beard off, because I'm up there shaking and screaming and shirtless. In my undies. In my loincloth. I'm very excited about living pictures, though.
Yeah. Living pictures is always cool.
Oh, I also started a new job this week.
You
Started
did?
yesterday. I have my second day today. It was a little sad because me and my brother and Jack and two other guys, Daniel included, one other guy that I've never talked about on Caleb Am, I don't think.
If you follow us, you know who Daniel is.
Yeah, we were gonna play in an Overwatch tournament. It was a free tournament that had a grand prize of like $10,000. So we weren't gonna win.
Yeah.
We were not gonna win. But we could have been the underdogs that got like second place or third or fourth place, because there were still cash prizes for those.
Fifth or sixth.
There weren't cash prizes for fifth or sixth, but I wasn't expecting. But I was like, I don't know, maybe this would just be like some fun thing that me and some friends could do. We'll play, get as far as we can, and then, I don't know, go grab dinner afterwards or something. But then Monday, I got a text from my boss. I was like, all right, all hands on deck tomorrow and Wednesday night. And I was like, they must have heard that I was busy on Tuesday and Wednesday night. So we didn't get the
Colton
play.
said, what about church tonight?
He said, don't let people underestimate you on your beard growing capabilities. And Caleb G, you're trying your best.
I am.
Second day today, yeah. I gotta go in tonight. It's the Miss Maroon and White beauty pageant. Y'all should go.
Colton, you can go to church with me if you want to.
You could go to the church with them. I forgot that you had church night, but
I lead a group.
yeah. Or you can go to the Miss Maroon and White beauty pageant.
Hey, youth group, y'all want to go see a beauty pageant tonight?
If you sit on the middle section of Bettersworth Auditorium in Lee Hall, I'll be running the spotlight on the left side. So it was kind of funny. They were talking about how they gave me the hardest job, and they didn't even really train me. They were just like, all right, you're gonna be on spots. They showed me how to turn it on and stuff, and then they were like, all right,
have fun.
we did a run through of the show, and I have to like track every single one of the contestants, all 34 of them, as they walk around the stage.
At least it'll probably
the two times they walk around.
It'll
the
probably
stage.
go by faster for you though, since you're constantly doing something.
Yeah, but what sucks is
you should. The CCC youth all like you, and you can talk to Jackson about his Snapchat.
My
I won't tell that
Raycon's
story.
broke.
Oh, I'm sorry.
The right ear, I dropped it one too many times, I guess, and I can't charge it anymore, and it doesn't turn on when or I guess it's just dead now, but, so, the headphones I'm wearing to get info from people while I'm spotlighting, it's on my left ear, so I can't, and it's like, I don't know, it's flat, so it'd be like pushing my Raycon like into my brain, so I was gonna listen to music or like watch YouTube while I did it, but I'm not able to anymore, so sad. But that's okay. I'll just watch the beauty pageant. I don't want to watch a beauty pageant.
Yeah, I think we kind of have to talk about Singing in the Rain.
Oh, Singing in the Rain. I liked it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would.
If I were to go back on the movie watching ranking that we did, it would go right below Psycho.
I don't know if I'd put it above Modern Times or not. I think I would. So I think it'd be Psycho, Singing in the Rain, Modern Times, my top 3. It was the only thing that like takes away from it is that some of the dancing was just way too much, and I was like, oh gosh, let's get on with it, please.
Yeah. I was honestly enjoying it more than Psycho when it was like, but then there was just too much dancing.
Yeah,
like it was like it could have been an hour long, but there was just 40 minutes of just dancing.
Yeah, no,
which
for sure.
the dancing wasn't even bad. Like a lot of it was good. It was just I was becoming numb to dancing.
Yeah, no. The Gotta Dance song really was the thing for me. I was like, what is...
Yeah, no, there was like a 10, 15 minute scene of just like, this is how I want it to look. I was like, come on, you're not doing it.
And all he sang was Gotta Dance, and then the rest of it was just dancing. Are they beautiful? This will persuade my decision. The only thing is, I will ask Jack, is why does he save pics of himself like that on... Okay, I'm not reading this out loud.
You didn't even need to watch any of it to complete the viewing guide, honestly.
You just had to read that article. You had to...
There was one that was like...
You would have had to find a song.
Talk about a scene, a musical number.
Yeah.
All you had to say was like, there was one musical number towards the end where they were all dancing together, and it's like, it didn't say include a timestamp, it didn't say talk about the scene or anything, it was just like, talk about how it feels utopian. It does not.
You just gotta... Well, like, it was easy to write if you were in class, because we looked at a bunch of musicals and she explained why this is utopian based on, like, all of the things in the article, so it was easy. I know you weren't in class, which is probably...
I was in class for some of that, but it was easy for me.
It was...
I skipped to the good morning, good morning.
That was a good song. The best... If I ranked the songs, it would be Singing in the Rain, the Moses song was hilarious, the Make 'Em Laugh song, and then it would be Good Morning. And then...
Which one was the one where it was Cosmo and Dawn, like, with the older guy?
That was the Moses song.
That's what I thought.
Because they were doing, like, the dialogue stuff, and it was Moses Roses or something. I don't know how the thing went, but...
It was weird.
Yeah.
I did like that one. And the Make 'Em Laugh one was good. I don't know. I wasn't... My hopes weren't high for this one, just like they haven't been for any of the movies we've watched, but I don't know, this one kind of blew me out of the water.
Yeah, no, I was happy.
Like, I was, like, genuinely laughing at parts of it.
Yeah, no.
Cosmo Brown was a funny dude.
Mm-hmm.
He was also a charmer.
Yeah.
Like, I would have let my daughter date him if she was 30 years old.
It was just like, he would say
things... And if I had a daughter.
He would say things so out of pocket that were just like, dude, what? That's so funny.
That's good that you feel better. Yeah, no, it was funny at one point when he, like, gives the guy the cigar, and then the dude, like, the dude he gave the cigar is, like, forced to take this, like, shady deal. It's not really a deal, but, like, he has to follow the rules or whatever. And he's like, I'd like my cigar back.
No, it was like, yeah. There was something else he said that I just, like...
He said a lot of, like, just... weird out of pocket
I want to go back and watch it just for the
there was one
for
part
what Cosmo said
where they were like when they were transitioning from like silent films to talking films, and he was like the dude that made the music for like the talking film, since that was the only audio, and he was like, oh great, I can finally stop hating my life and go on to write this orchestra set. And then the dude running the place was like, well actually I'm gonna hire you as the lead composer for our films now. He said, all right, great. Now I can stop hating my life and go on to making this awesome orchestra set. It was pretty funny.
Yeah.
It was like, I don't know what I was expecting out of the movie, but it was a really fun movie. The plot was boring, but that was about it. Like, that's why it would be lower than Psycho, besides the dancing. Like, Psycho's plot is really cool.
One of the worst villains of all time in Singing in the Rain, but it was a fun watch.
Lena was...
I know she was supposed to be annoying. Like that.
I genuinely laughed when that there's like a scene where she wants to give a speech, but Dawn keeps cutting her off, and in that moment I thought that the movie was going to be about like Dawn being mean and how he's like a stuck-up jerk.
Yeah.
But then like she starts talking and she like sounds like this, and she's like saying really stupid stuff.
What do y'all think, I'm dumb or something? No, not
I don't know who played her, but she did a good job.
Played her role great.
Like the acting was like really
Debbie
good.
Reynolds did really good too.
So it was a good movie.
Yeah, no, I enjoyed it. People like said, this is considered one of the best musicals of all time, and I was like, oh gosh, because it's from the 50s.
Before it started, when she said that this was one of the top 5 movies of all time, I looked at Connor. I was like, well, it's from the 1950s. They could have just literally taken a video of a poop, and people would have praised it. Like that's how all old movies are. So I'm typically pretty cynical on old movies, but like
this one was good.
This one was good. This one proves that like me not liking old movies is okay. Like, because there's ones that are actually good.
Yeah.
I'm not going to sit here and say that this deserves a 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. That's outlandish. Like, to say that this movie's better than, I don't know, the Demon Slayer Mugen Train movie. Say this is better than, like, Knives Out or like Jurassic Park is crazy.
In musical terms, like The Greatest Showman. Like
The Greatest Showman is objectively a better movie than this.
Yeah.
But
even though I hate it, but that's not because the movie's bad. It's because it got overplayed. And anytime I hear any of the songs, I want to kill myself. Oh, I shouldn't have said that.
I want to pretend I didn't hear the
song. We are so far into the episode.
No, that's fine. I don't know. I love The Greatest Showman. I think the songs are incredible, especially A Million Dreams.
No, the songs were great. Like the first couple times I saw it, I loved it. But then, the DVD got bought, and it was every single night.
My mom saw that movie more times in theaters than I saw No Way Home. Let that sink in.
Wait, hold on. No Way Home?
Like Spider-Man No Way Home.
When Greatest Showman was in theaters?
Yeah.
That wasn't the same time.
No, like, my mom, when Greatest Showman was in theaters, my mom saw it like 9 times in theaters.
Oh, I thought you were saying, like, instead of going to see The Greatest Showman, you went and saw No Way Home. I guess I didn't hear you. My fault. She saw it 9 times.
Yeah. It's your favorite movie.
I remember when...
It wasn't my top 10 until I saw Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, and it got bumped out. Yeah. It's in my honorable mentions now.
I'm trying to remember what movie me and my dad went and watched, because our family went to the movie theater, and we were going to go see whatever movie me and my dad watched, and then the girls were like, no, we want to go see The Greatest Showman, yeah. So we didn't go see the same movie, and I don't remember what we went and watched. I feel like it was a Marvel movie, but it could have just not been a Marvel movie.
That's definitely possible.
I'd have to look up movies that came out whatever week that was, but...
I'm looking up the...
And they were mad at us because their movie got out before ours did, and they were waiting on us. I was like, well, y'all could have gone and saw that movie with us. It was a good movie, whatever it was. I liked it.
Mandalorian Season 3, Episode 4's runtime is only 30 minutes.
Probably because the last one was on a freaking... Good lord. Okay.
Was I freaking... I'm so flippin' angry. What the flip?
Yeah.
So, hey, we got plenty of time.
Sure. What time is it? 7:45.
7:45.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need to plug my phone in.
I guess we could wrap up.
If you want.
We don't have to.
I personally just miss Caleb AM so much. I'm gonna be really sad when we're not doing it anymore.
Hey.
Today. Not in general.
This is our career.
This is our series finale. Yeah, we have 333 subscribers. This is
our career.
We make a living off of this. There's so many other Guatemala stories I could tell, but it really is hard to just kind of like think of
on the spot.
Spot. I should have like
wrote them down.
Made a list of ones to talk about, but Wednesday was the thing I wanted to get out the most because that was my favorite day probably. But we played a lot of Mafia. We wrote encouragement notes to people, which was fun because there was one year where we did a prayer partner one day where you got randomly assigned somebody and you had to go pray for them at some point through the day. And so when my dad said we were doing encouragement notes, I went up to him and asked him that night, I was like, so why aren't we going to do like prayer partners. He's like, do you want to? I was like, I mean, we can. And so
I
then
like prayer partners.
the next day we started doing prayer partners, and nobody prayed for their prayer partners the first day because nobody knew. Like, it was, we got a piece of paper and then they were like, all right, that's your prayer partner, pray for him. And so people were just praying for them throughout the day, which is obviously good. But,
Yeah.
But the thing was, like, you're supposed to go up and pray for him. And so we ended up doing it the next day too. And so that was cool. And then everybody liked it so much we did it like every day, and which was kind of cool because I came up with the idea. Just kidding, I ain't here to serve men. That was a throwback from earlier in the episode where I talked about Galatians 1:1 and 1:10, where we're serving God, not men.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, that kind of inspired me. I'm praying for somebody every day, out loud. In case you were wondering why I prayed for you the other day.
Yeah, I appreciate that too.
Because I pray for my friends every day, but
Yeah.
it's normally by myself.
By yourself.
So
I understand that. I'm not good with the praying out loud either. I've gotten better since I've been in charge of the youth group at my church because, at the end of every lesson or, Sunday, I'm praying out loud. But it's different when it's, it's
just one-on-one.
One-on-one.
I'm not too good at it either, but I had to pray a lot this week.
Yeah.
Since I was, pretty much anytime my dad was, looking for somebody to pray, he would say, Caleb, you do it. And he would, after he chose me, he would choose a random youth the next time, and then he would go back to me.
Yeah.
And it also helped, when the couple I mentioned earlier, when we had, a little special, thing for them, and then, said goodbye, we all crowded around him and prayed for him. And he was like, all right, you start us off, and then anybody that wants to pray can pray for him, and Caleb, you close. And I was like, okay. And then after the house dedication, it was the same thing. Somebody started off, and then I closed. Everybody got to pray if they wanted to. So I did a lot of praying, which was awesome. I think that's one of the reasons I had such a good week. But then we had a prayer partner every day, and I don't know. I had Hunter as a prayer partner one day, so that was easier. But then there were, I don't think that's new.
My fault.
There were other days where the people I had as my prayer partner I wasn't close with, and so I had to kind of awkwardly go ask
Right.
pray. But it was really nice. I enjoyed it a lot. So that just inspired me to do it every day. I've done pretty good. I've only missed one day, and it was the travel day. So which admittedly should have given me plenty of time to find somebody in the group and pray for them, but I don't know, I was really tired all day, so I just wasn't thinking about it. And then when I got home that night, I was like, oops, I forgot about that. So, but I recommend it. It's been pretty great. So, I mean, yeah, I love Guatemala. I'll probably mention Guatemala every Caleb AM for the next couple weeks, because I'll just keep thinking of stories to tell. So
that's fine.
Y'all look
I
forward.
enjoy hearing about it.
I look forward to it, because a lot of stuff happened.
I wish I had a coffee maker here because I could make some of that coffee and put it in my Mandalorian cup for...
I thought you had a coffee maker.
It's a Keurig, so it doesn't take grounds, it takes the little pods.
Oh.
But I do have a coffee... It's not my coffee maker, but I do have a coffee maker.
I feel silly. I thought a Keurig would do that.
Some of them do, but mine doesn't. Mine's a cheap one. It's okay. We're gonna find a coffee maker and we're gonna make some solid coffee.
No. I'm so sad.
I'm very excited about this though.
It
Medium
smells so
dark
good.
roast
I wish
it
I
up.
liked the taste of coffee, but the smell.
It smells incredible.
I love the smell of coffee.
When
I need a coffee can.
My dad has had multiple businesses in his day. I don't know how much money he spent on his coffee business, but he literally bought a machine where he roasted coffee beans and then grinded the coffee beans into grounds and sold them. And our house smelled like it for a long time, and it was so nice. Because
Coffee just smells really good.
it does.
Oh, that's something I didn't get to mention.
I think if you got the right creamer in your coffee, you would like it.
I've only had black coffee.
Yeah, no. If you found the right creamer, I think you'd like coffee. Because I can't drink black coffee by itself.
It's the aftertaste of coffee for me. Like I don't. It's like really weird and sharp, and then I don't know. There's nothing that tastes like it, but I don't care. I don't care for it. But I forgot to mention this. I was going to mention it when I was talking about my week. Before Guatemala, I finished my classes on Thursday. We had 2 classes because of film. I don't know why they didn't cancel film. My other class had a reason not to cancel because it was like such a scheduled class. We would get behind if we didn't. But I have an exam on Monday in this class I have today. Dang, that sucks. Anyways, so I was done with classes and I finished most of my schoolwork on Wednesday because we watched that movie and wrote the essay about it. But I was done with my classes on Thursday, and then. Which meant I had like most of Thursday to, kind of chill. I got to like play Overwatch, and then was it Thursday night we went to play volleyball and it wasn't open? I think it was Thursday.
No, I left Thursday.
Wednesday.
It was Wednesday because I left Thursday.
Wednesday night it was gonna be my last night that Jack was available to play Overwatch because he was busy Thursday night and I was leaving for Guatemala Friday night. So I was really excited to play with him, and we had talked about going to play volleyball earlier in the day, and so right after I got on with Jack, we played one game, and then y'all ran into my room. Daniel got on, and we were like, "Come on, we're going to play volleyball," and I was like, "Dang it, I couldn't make a decision." But y'all were getting mad at me for not wanting to go play volleyball since I'm the one that always wants to play volleyball. So I was like, "Fine, we'll go play volleyball." We went to play volleyball, and the volleyball court was taken, and the volleyball court was taken. And so I was pretty upset. I was really mad. I was like, guys, I just want to go back. Jack got on. I can't drink coffee because I think if a drink needs a bunch of creamer and sugar to be good, then
Doesn't
I
need
won't.
sugar, just
I'm
creamer.
good. I'm good. Conscious drink it and not think I could be drinking hot chocolate. Well, I don't think many people drink coffee because it tastes good. They drink coffee because it's caffeinated.
And it's better for you than this stuff. But this stuff tastes better, so.
Yeah. But, anyways, I wanted to just go back because we couldn't play volleyball. The racquetball courts were taken. The pickleball court was taken. Everything was taken. And I was like, Jack is just waiting for me at this point. I just want to go play with Jack. But then Daniel was like, I'm going to go rock climb. And then you and Colton were like, I'm going to play ping pong. And so
he was rock climbing, so we figured we should just sit here.
So it was just me and JJ sitting there doing nothing for like 40 minutes while we waited for y'all to finish. And I was getting pretty upset, admittedly. I was like just annoyed. I was like, I don't want to be here. I wanted to play volleyball. That's the only reason I came. If I had known volleyball wasn't open, I would have just stayed. But then we finally decided to come back. And I convinced Jack to stay on for 2 more games because I was 2 games away from ranking up in tank. And so I hop on, and I was 3 wins, 0 losses in tank, so I was doing good. We win the next game, and then we get into the next game, and it was a tough game. It was a hard-fought victory, but we won. We barely won. We edged it out at the end. And I was freaking out because I was Diamond 2. I've never been, the rank above Diamond is Masters, and I've never been Masters before. And so I pulled my phone out and took a video of my reaction, and I did it. I got Masters right before I left for Guatemala. And then it was like just so fun. Because I never really thought I'd get to Masters because it was kind of tough. I'm going to play my reaction.
Did we hit Masters? Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh!
Oh my god! Oh my god! I was very excited to say the least. Like it took me a little while before I was finally not excited about it anymore. Because I was excited. And I still am. But then the next night, Thursday night, I was playing Overwatch and I got very tilted. I was playing till like 2 in the morning and then I lost Masters. So, it's whatever. I got to it, so at the end of the season, it'll still say I got Masters. But, tell that to my sister. She thinks it's liquid gold, but her coffee is 30% coffee and 70% crap. Creamer is not crap.
Creamer's great.
Creamer is incredible. That stuff, I drink creamer straight. I love creamer.
Creamer's awesome.
So, yeah, but then Friday, I got packed. I needed to like go through the packing list and make sure I had everything because I did not do that and I forgot a lot of stuff. But that's okay. Made it through the week. But Friday, I went to meet Toro, and then I played around a disc golf, and then I chilled at my house for a couple hours and like hung out with my mom and Julia, and then I went and saw Scream 6 in theaters, and that movie got out at like 10.
That night. Oh, I think he's behind us because he's talking. I think he's
Oh,
talking
he's
volleyball.
on. Oh, I thought he was talking about Masters tank stuff.
Oh, that probably big dog from a big L that night. I guess so. Yeah.
But either way, that does apply.
Yeah.
Yeah, that movie didn't get out till like 10 o'clock, and so I wasn't getting back till 10:30, and we had to be at the church at 11:30. So I just kind of chilled at the house for 45 minutes, and then we left for the church, and then I went to Guatemala. But the reason I bring that up here is because I don't think we're gonna peach crisp it. But Scream 6 was really, really good. You wouldn't like it.
I don't like
Actually, I think you would. You would like it as a movie, but some of the gory bits, it wasn't really that bad.
Yeah, no,
You might have had to turn away, but it really wasn't too bad in that regard either. There were some creative kills in it though, but overall, it was my second favorite Scream movie. Spoiler alert, because one day I'll probably do a Scream series ranked because it's one of the only horror movie franchises that I have respect for. So, yeah, no, it was really good.
Yeah.
I gave it a 92 on the Peach Crisp scale.
Nice.
So
You need to go see Jesus Revolution.
I really want to see Jesus Revolution.
Like everyone was talking about how good it was, and I was really scared because like, are they just saying it's good because it's a Christian movie? Because that happens a lot with like a lot of like Christian media. It's like, oh my gosh, that's so good, and like sometimes it's just not. It's just it's a good message.
Yeah.
But that doesn't necessarily mean like the movie's good. So I was kind of worried, but no, the movie was really really good. Like
it has like a 100 or like a 90 something
Yeah.
on the audience score. The critic score for Christian stuff's always garbage.
Yeah.
But
There was like multiple times where I was getting like, kind of like the frog in your throat type of thing, just multiple times throughout the movie. It was so good. The acting was like, other than like one person, the acting was very good throughout the movie. And it kind of plays into what you talked about, working for like your own glory rather than God's, because that was kind of like one of the messages that was in the movie at one point.
that's what I talked about.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It was, so
It's
very.
not really up to me. It's up to if Daniel wants to do it too.
What do you say?
Daniel said we could do. He was like, "Oh, we should peach crisp it tomorrow," and I was like, "Dude, I'm literally gonna be in Guatemala tomorrow. Like,
I'll come on the plane with you and we can do it live from the plane.
we can video it on the plane."
Yeah.
But I mean, I'd be down. I just spoiled what I gave it, but
Yeah. If you go see Jesus Revolution, I'll peach crisp that with you.
word.
I'm sure me and Evan will probably talk about it on Two Nerds on a Boat.
I might do that.
We
then.
need something to talk about. And
But
it's a really good movie.
there being more creamer than coffee, I don't know. It's not a big deal.
Not a big deal.
Creamer's too good.
Yeah, no. Mine's probably.
If you don't like coffee, but you want the caffeine, then if you have to put that much creamer in it, you gotta put that much
According
creamer in
to
it.
the great, to the late great Mike Leach, you drink coffee and you don't add anything to it because it's the experience that wakes you up of how bad it tastes on its own, rather than making it taste good.
I don't get how people drink it straight black.
He's like, yeah, I absolutely hate coffee, but it's that experience that wakes you up. But no, the older I've gotten, the less creamer I'm putting in my coffee.
Oh, John Wick 4's Friday.
If I need to watch,
IGN gave it a 10.
Really?
Mm-hmm. They said it was the best one in the series.
I need to watch the first four because I'd like to go see it.
I need to watch the second one and the third one. I'll rewatch the first one with you. It's on something.
Yeah.
I know. We should watch that today. I have work tonight, but
I mean, I should have time. There's a lot of editing and stuff I need to get done. But
I could come back to the apartment after my 9 o'clock class.
Okay.
If you want, and then we could walk together to the 12:30 class.
I might skip my 12:30 class today. I don't know, because it's debate
I think
day.
it might be exam review in mine, and my professor said if we have perfect attendance, she would bump in an 89.5 to an A. So.
That's what my professor. Well, my professor said if you have perfect attendance, you're getting extra credit regardless. But apparently, I missed a day in that class. I probably forgot to scan in, and I don't want to go through the trouble of emailing them and be like, "Hey, I think I forgot to scan in."
That's fair.
So since I've already missed a day and attendance isn't part of your grade in that class, then if we're doing something I don't want to do in that class, which is debating, because there are some jerks in that class, frankly, then I should probably skip it. But I might not skip it. We'll see.
We'll see.
I just don't want to debate. But no, like,
That's fair.
the only that's not true. There's been 2 spy series. I don't know if John Wick even counts as a spy. I don't know if he's an assassin or what he is, but
He's gun for hire.
He's
and
gun
he
for hire.
technically retired in the
Okay.
first movie.
um.
Or he was retired. He came out of
Well
retirement.
then, never mind.
Assuming James Bond, and that was...
Mission Impossible is my number 1, and then James Bond. Mission Impossible is so good.
I've never seen a Mission Impossible movie.
You should.
I could have watched one of them. I think it was Fallout was on the plane on the way back, but
Fallout's not a good one.
I watched Interstellar.
Yeah, Fallout's the worst of, which was the newest one, which just makes me scared about the new one. But in order for Mission Impossible for me,
There was 2 Mission Impossible movies. I'm sorry, I just remember there was 2. I don't remember which one the other one was.
Was it a newer one? Do you
I
know?
don't think so. I think it was the
Okay.
first one.
Okay, that one's good. In order of like best to worst, it would be 3, Rogue Nation, 1, Ghost Recon, 2, and then Fallout. And Fallout's the only one I didn't like.
He's a hitman. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a gun for hire.
Well then, okay, cool. It's different. I like it. I haven't seen it.
He's-
But
The first one is really good.
Is it?
It had potential to go on my top 10,
Really?
but when I watched it, I don't know. It was a while ago, and I haven't rewatched it or watched the other movies, but it was really good. So I need to watch the second and third one before Friday. So I don't really have a lot of free time though, which is why I would come back. But although I don't know if they would just be to watch the.
You have a 9 o'clock class?
Yeah, we should probably end
Yeah.
it so we could go watch some
Mandalorian.
Mandalorian, which I did miss last week's episode, but that's okay.
I'll catch you up and tell you what happens. You don't need to watch it. It's 56 minutes of boring. But, alright, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe and come back next week, 6:30 a.m., pending technical issues. And
We'll actually be
See you
here
guys
next week. I feel bad. That one guy was really cool, and I don't think he's here this week.
he probably was waiting for us last week.
He was probably still waiting, and then he gave up yesterday.
Alright, thank you guys. We'll see you next time.
Bye.